get this over with. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's simple, baby. Buffalo Bills football is heck, all right? Let me tell you something.
I'm gonna crack a cold one since it's a tailgate.
Ooh, ice cold, Mike. Let me tell you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are live here in the Sit Down with Sauce God, the sports and entertainment show.
I'm whipping the sauce, I'm tripping, of course, I want it all. All of my dogs be running with guard. Your mama, you holding your pennies and bra. Cause when I get whipping the sauce, you taking it off. I'm dancing on tracks like stuff in the yard. We keeping it quiet, we moving the signs, but now we starting to riot. Yeah, keeping my eye on the prize. I got me a queen, we riding like Bonnie and Clyde. Trips to Dubai, the way I be blessing, I'm destined for changing my decimals. Decibels hitting the wave, I'm rapping incredible, splitting their head like a cantaloupe edible. Got me so high, I'm touching the sky. Of course, I give it my all. I'm whipping the sauce, kicking the door. But then we been here before. She ain't involved, well, she ain't involved. Taking my shot, even the down, we tying the score. Do your dancing, now twist, don't stress, don't trip. Whipping sauce real quick, stay dripping, sipping on cognac. Roll tea in my veins, but you find that I'm whipping it, watch it get saucy.
How you doing it?
I'm twisting and mixing and shaking them haters right off me.
What you doing?
Yes, you guys are live here on Facebook and YouTube with myself, the Sauce God at Buffalo Sauce God, and my co-host Mo Down right here on in the Sit Down, a sports entertainment podcast presented by a number of sponsors. And if you guys are just now tuning in, do me a favor before anything else, hit that like and share button. Join us here in the comment section because Bills Mafia, we are back in the win column. We are undefeated in the division. And I tell you what, man, that game last night was very, very spooky. So before we get into any action here, Mo Down, just give me one word to sum up the game last night.
We won.
I like that he went with 2 words because it was just weird overall. So we got to give a weird answer in a sense. I like that. But it was just different, right? Because it's a divisional game. That kind of stuff happens in divisional games. But the officiating was definitely a little bit strange. I actually thought in the first half that it was kind of consistent. I thought that they were calling like a fair game. And then it kind of just dipped out of that for a little bit. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Sit Down. We're live. If you are not able to catch the live version of this podcast, which you can make sure you always catch the live version of this, if you make sure you're following, like, and subscribe, notifications turned on. We are also available via audio podcast the following day. So we had a 23-20 victory over the New Jersey Jets last night in Jersey. So we've already gotten 2 divisional games out of the way, 2-0. We are 2-0 on the road in the division. That's huge too, meaning we have 3 home games for divisional games and then 1 away. So that's something that's beneficial to us. We still have a bye week coming in I think it's in a month or so, but that's crucial for trying to stay healthy. Now, we saw some great things last night, some guys coming back from injury. There were a lot of great things to take away from this game. And I think there's a lot of things that Bills Mafia we can kind of take a look at and build on. So we're going to talk about that in the show as well. And there were some major trades from both of these teams today. We'll talk about who got who and what exactly it means for both of these teams going forward, because one of the teams is going to be reuniting a player with his former quarterback. So that's something to be paying attention to. So this is the Sit Down presented by BuffaloSauceGuy.com on Facebook Live, YouTube Live. Don't forget, tomorrow night is the official premiere of the exclusive interview that I had with Keita Nakagawa, a.k.a. Bills Samurai, the Bills superfan from Tokyo, Japan, that will be airing live tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern on Facebook and YouTube. And it will be up, obviously, if you're not able to catch the live. So, Mo Down, you know, it's Victory Tuesday. We have another fucking Monday night game, obviously. It's funny because Victory Monday, whatever you want to call it, that kind of stuff, I always feel a certain energy, right? But I didn't necessarily feel it as much today until we made a massive trade. And I think that people might not call it massive, but I think it's massive.
Huge.
But it's huge. It's crucial. And it's something that I think a lot of people were saying Brandon Beane's going to sit on his ass. And he proved everybody wrong. We saw a little bit more of the McDermott woes last night, that people are kind of having issues with our coach. You know, the fact that he's made some questionable decisions as to how the defense is going to be played. I think there's a lot to take away from Sean McDermott as the head coach for the Bills and what the other coaches like Joe Brady and Bobby Babbitt are doing. We'll talk about that all here in just a few moments, ladies and gentlemen, but we are going to go ahead and start it off with some sauce-it-up highlights and recap some of the Bills' best plays from yesterday offensively and defensively.
Nice.
Starting it off, we had no James Cook. No James Cook, no problem whatsoever. You have the backup running back of Ty Johnson kind of getting it going right there with the first down. And then we see a little bit of Ray Davis, man. Ray Davis was an absolute monster last night. He was a menace. And I think a lot of people in Bills Mafia should take note of that because this kid's a rookie. And look at him going here from the 16-yard line and just shy of the end zone. In fact, Josh eventually would say, hey, I stole away a touchdown from the running backs in that first drive because right here, Josh Young gets his first rushing touchdown and the first of 3 total touchdowns on the day. That's kind of got the Bills in a momentum right there, Modown. You know, we're 7-3 at that point. I expected the Jets to kind of fire back, and they did. But I felt like we really had a decent set of rhythm in the first half there. And look at this play right here. It's a batted ball. It doesn't go for a touchdown. The defense made some serious plays, not allowing 7 points and allowing field goals at times. That kind of stuff is what we need from our defense. Because, yeah, there will be some teams that can get some chunk yardage. But if you can make plays like that from Terrell Bernard, holy cow. And it's great to see him coming back 2 consecutive weeks making some big plays. And here's Josh Allen in the pocket. He's going to roll out to his right. Peyton Manning on the Manning cast was saying, get rid of it, throw it away. In fact, I thought so at first, but I know he can make the throw right here to rookie Ray Davis for a massive catch. And that's right there, something that you'd see out of James Cook. So, hey, it's great to know that we got a guy that can step up and make the best use of his opportunities. And here we go. Ty Johnson again. He says, all right, Ray Davis is on fire. Well, let me go ahead and battle back with a nice run here to keep the run game flowing for the Bills. I mean, Josh Allen didn't really need to necessarily throw for a lot of yards. He finished for 215 on the day, but Matt Collins there with a touchdown reception, and people have been critical of him, and I understand why, but that's right there before the end of the half. Now here's this. We got a sack on Aaron Rodgers. And I want to say this about the officials. We're going to talk more about that in the sit down here as well in just a bit. But I felt like the defensive line was just an absolute unit. And here's AJ Epinesa. I said he had to step up in the pregame show, and he came and stepped up. And I think I made some solid predictions on the pregame show, which is why you want to make sure that you never miss the pregame show, ladies and gentlemen. Here's Josh Allen. He's going to step up, and he goes under a guy, rolls to his left, and who does he find? Dawson Knox, reliable for a touchdown right there. And that's something else I said that you might see out of the Buffalo Bills, right? So, all right, at this point, we got some things going for us, okay? And by the way, that was right before the half, just so everybody knows. Here's Josh Allen. He's going to look, steps up in the pocket. He's going to throw right here to who? Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel getting a nice catch. That's what we need to see from a guy like that, right? We've been critical of him, but he made some plays, and I like what I saw a little bit more out of Curtis Samuel, the wide receiver, because there's going to be some tough opportunities for guys to get catches. But, hey, here's another defensive play. The guys were making some solid tackles in the Modown, and especially the defensive backs, they kind of settled in, and they kind of found a way to make some solid plays and stop these guys. Here's Aaron Rodgers bitching, which he shouldn't have been bitching. Dog, like you were getting some penalties thrown your way in your favor nonstop. So here's Aaron Rodgers again, the defensive line getting pressure, but it's going to be a massive hit there by the safeties. He got sandwiched between DeMar Hamlin and Taylor Rapp. Taylor Rapp is going to be possibly the game book MVP for me tonight. We'll have to talk about that later in the show. Here's Aaron Rodgers again under pressure. He throws him. He's smacked by Dorian Williams right there. Dorian Williams, man, he is just absolutely an insane freak of nature athlete. Here's Aaron Rodgers again under pressure, but no, he's going to throw it up deep, and it's intercepted by Taron Johnson in his first game back since week 1, ladies and gentlemen. That right there was the Sauce Up Highlights presented by Duff's Famous Wings and Big Tree Inn in Orchard Park. Let me tell you this. I liked what I saw from the offense and the rhythm-wise Modown. You saw there that the running backs were eating, but you saw, I think, a little bit more of Josh looked efficient last night. I mean, he didn't look bad at all. He didn't seem to make the boneheaded plays. I think overall, does it make you wonder more of how should we be utilizing Ray Davis more, Modown? I mean, obviously the kid came in. We've seen some solid production in the preseason from a guy like Frank Gore Jr., who was elevated from the practice squad yesterday to the active roster. But Ty Johnson wasn't playing bad at all. He was honestly doing just fine. I mean, he was more than just fine. So what do you think for this offensive look for the running backs going forward? What are we going to see a little bit more of?
It becomes a 3-headed monster at that point. I mean, it's awesome. I was super excited for the kid. Definitely one of I think they said the best yards from scrimmage game ever by a rookie. He set that record, which was probably held by Thurman, I believe.
I want to say he finished with it's like 147 or something like that. And he had a cowboy hat on.
Robert commented on here, we got 152 yards from scrimmage is what it ended up. He just shy of 100 rushing and a little over 50 on the pass. So yeah, excellent game, man. I mean, he's definitely showed that he can be productive and do what's needed and do the right thing when he's in there. So that I bet they use him a lot more going forward. Again, Cook is still number one. He's making himself feel like number two.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you saw people were going to say, oh, like Troy Aikman, I think, was talking about, they're going to miss the pass catching from James Cook tonight. And we obviously didn't. I mean, he comes up with possibly the biggest catch of the night for the Bills. I mean, that's a tough catch to make. I mean, even my girlfriend Emily was watching like, holy cow, how did he come up with that? I think it's something good. Obviously, running backs it's a different NFL than it was back in guys like the heyday of guys like Walter Payton, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, those kind of guys, right? But it's still a crucial position. But nowadays, you see running backs with less mileage being used more, and it's good to know that the Bills have guys that can definitely step in and get it done, because the Jets are not a shabby defense, ladies and gentlemen. The Bills had their way offensively when running the football, and I liked what I saw from their rhythm. Defensively, Modem, we saw a lot more of the they were just finding the open middle of the field, and it was kind of just a little defeating at times during the game. And I'm not typically a negative guy, right? And a little comment there from saying hi to Jason right there. That's the Modown. And if you guys are just now tuned in, do us a favor, hit us in the comment section and hit that like and share. It's me and Modown right here in the sit down. And now defensively, I did see the defense adjusted quite a bit, but we had a lot of unsung hero type of plays, and you guys are going to hear about that more later in the show, as well as our offensive and defensive breakdowns. And still to come in the show as well, we have to talk about the massive trades that were made in the AFC East, which does change the landscape of things right now. But the Bills right now are controlling their destiny at 4-2, 2-0 in the division. Now it's an ugly win, right, Modown? But an ugly win, it doesn't matter. A win is a win. You get it how you can. And it felt like things were kind of going against us, and then the momentum kind of shifted and things were kind of going against them, and then it's kind of going against both teams. But we ultimately prevailed on a field goal from Tyler Bass. I was a little bummed with the missed extra point and then a missed field goal, and it does seem to me at times that Tyler Bass is not as consistent as he once was. And Modown, do you think that Tyler Bass is a guy that we're going to have to take more of a look at?
I really hope not, because like you said, he used to be fantastic. The extra point was blocked, so I think you got to look at the line there and why are we letting people get their hands up for a block on an extra point. But yeah, his inconsistency this year is definitely not looking good. Missed a few last year. I mean, obviously the Bills fandom, they want to chop his head off immediately. And there's too many flashbacks from my day of the Norwood kick and all that and yada, yada. And I'm sure Norwood felt good when he shanked one wide right, hopefully taking some heat off of him in some facet there. But I don't know. It's definitely something that you got to look at. He's got to figure it out. Kickers are extremely, extremely crucial.
It's funny, though, because I'm not trying to toot my own horn that much here, but I am a guy that predicts things. Okay, I might not say it right on Facebook, but you can ask my girlfriend, you can ask some of the guys that are like that know me in the sit down, that I predict things. And when I saw that missed extra point, missed field goal, and then they showed Greg Zuerlein made his first field goal, and then I'm like, oh, this dude's gonna miss one. And then of course he misses one, and Greg Zuerlein then misses another, and they both doinked right off the goalpost. That right there is, and people say, oh, if they didn't miss those at field, whatever. We don't miss a field goal and an extra point, we're technically up at 7 points at some point, and they don't get the 3 points to tie it, maybe. You know what I'm saying? So it goes both ways. But we made the one that mattered, number one. And number two, damn, dude, if you're going to be a great team, you have to have some good luck sometimes. That's the fucking truth when it comes to the game of football.
Sure.
You know the saying, you'd rather be lucky than good in a day? Well, if you can be both, you're great. You know what I'm saying? So I think for the Bills to still prevail in this game, number one, is something that everybody in Bills Mafia should be nothing but positive about. Yeah, there's things to improve on. Yeah, there's holes in areas of our team. What team doesn't have that? Okay, it's the great ones that find a way to get past it. So I think what we saw yesterday was a tough game. Aaron Rodgers probably looked one of his best passing performances as a New Jersey Jet.
Definitely.
And you had the Hail Mary go their way, right?
Okay,
but
correct.
We didn't lose that game. Now, okay, there's where we're going to talk a little bit about questionable decisions coaching-wise, right? We'll talk about that in the defensive segment of the Pain Train still to come here on the show, as well as what we think the Bills are going to be doing more of offensively going forward, because there is a major change to this team that just happened today. So Bills Mafia, we hope you can join us here in the comment section. It's myself, the Sauce God at Buffalo Sauce God, and Modown, my co-host right here. Now, we did a Sauce Them Up highlights. Now we're going to go ahead and shift out of this for a moment, Modown. And you have yourself a segment here in the sit down presented by Zubaz Own 716 Sports Card and Memorabilia Store in Depew, New York, which I just drove past last night on the way home from Danny's. And I got a beef with Danny's, by the way. I didn't know it was a 10 wing limit. So it's like I was hoping to go in there and eat 30, but I was going to even have 10. But still, they were good.
Really? So they do. You could only get 10 wings with your 2 drinks?
Yeah, and they like, you buy 2 drinks, you get the 10 wings for $1. It's like, okay, all right. What if I'm willing to drink 4 beers? They're like, oh, it's 10 limit. So I was like, damn. And I didn't realize it was actually right across the street from Big Tree and one of my favorite places and one of the proud sponsors of the sit down. Actually, dude. In fact, I'm hoping possibly to be going to the game this weekend. I'm trying to figure out if that's where I'm going to go tailgate. Because where Stevie Johnson's at, it's like $50 to go there, and I don't know if I want to pay that much just to tailgate. I don't think we're going to go to the game. We're going to tailgate, possibly. So, all right, we're going to go into the Modown hits of the game. We'll start it off with a little clip to get you guys fired up, because who doesn't want to see Tom Brady get leveled? And then we'll see what Modown's got to say about a few of these plays from the Buffalo Bills last night. Here we go, Modown. Here's your segment of Modown hits of the week. Hold on, brother. You were muted there. You got to unmute yourself. Yep. Let's try that again, ladies and gentlemen, right here with Modown hits of the week in the sit down as sports entertainment show.
All right. So obviously Taylor Rapp was out there throwing himself around. Dorian Williams was smashing people out there. Was an excellent display by the defense. Really just smashing people right here. You got them 2 sandwiching Wilson, pretty much taking him out of the game. He didn't do a whole lot after that. Again, Bills coming up from the safety position. These guys are crushing it out there, man. It was awesome. Defense was laying it down.
Taylor Rapp, here's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. I take the clip of the Bills, and for some reason they didn't incorporate the Taylor Rapp hits that he had to prevent people from catching the football. Taylor Rapp was throwing his weight around. Dorian Williams was throwing his weight around, and this was just an overall very, very, very tense and aggressive game. I mean, we had back and forth, people shoving, people, with getting unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. So overall, Modown, would you say the Bills laid the punishment when it came to hits more than the Jersey Jets?
Absolutely. We definitely put it to them, and their defense is solid, man. So it was refreshing to see. We definitely did. We brought it to them and laid it down.
I love that. So, the thing is here is that the Bills are the alpha dog in the AFC East. I'm sorry. They're the alpha. And it's, if anybody wants to argue against it, they're either biased or they're just not really paying attention, because the Bills have won the AFC East for 4 straight years. They're looking to do it for a 5th. Okay. And obviously Josh Allen has been very good against all of these teams in his entire career as a Buffalo Bill. Miami Dolphins, he's absolutely the father of Jets. He's had some moments, but overall he's got a winning record. I think he's now 8-4 against the Jets in his career. And Josh Allen, he had 18 career turnovers against the Jets. It's most against any franchise in the current NFL for quarterbacks. He had 0 turnovers last night. He did have a fumble, but it was not recovered by the Jets. So that was good to see. And Josh Allen's still continuing at this point. He's the only quarterback in the NFL with over 75 pass attempts minimally to not have any interceptions. So that's really good to see. It's good. It's good to see that Josh is just playing efficient football, but he's not him. He's not like, I shouldn't say he's not himself. I mean, he is himself. He's still running the football. He's still trying to make sometimes the bonehead play where he fumbles that football. But it's Josh Allen, man. He's willing to put it all on the line, and he'll find a way to win a game if he's got to do it his damn self, right? So we'll talk about that a little bit more in the victory formation of the offensive breakdown for me and Mo down right here in the sit down. So defensively, we're going to talk here, though, because I am really, really liking what I've seen out of the guys defensively, and this is without Ed Oliver and Matt Milano. So let's go ahead, and Von Miller, too, because Roger Goodell said, I'm not from Western New York. I'm from Jamestown, even though no one knows it, and he's a dick. So let's go ahead and go into Paint Train's Mo down, and let's talk a little bit about this Buffalo Bills defense last night. Okay. What did the defense do correctly yesterday? And tell me, what did they not do correctly yesterday?
I'll start with saying that correctly. Again, the run game struggled a little bit there. We let Brees Hall run all over us. And I guess coincidentally, we'll even put that to the pass game. Him out of the backfield. I think we held the receivers for the most part. I mean, other than the nonsense with Lazard and the Hail Mary and whatever. But Brees Hall really kind of had our number. He really shined. Him and Ray Davis, really the running backs were the stars of the game on offense. That's what I would say would be the high and the low.
So defensively for the Bills, I felt like they got great pressure. Aaron Rodgers, as much as he is an older quarterback, let's not act like this guy wasn't the best quarterback talent-wise, in my opinion. Okay, you could say Brady's the greatest, but talent-wise, Aaron Rodgers could do it all in his prime with the Packers. It's crazy to me still to this day that he's only won one Super Bowl, but he's been a lot of NFC championships. But Aaron Rodgers gets it done. He still has the IQ. He still has a little bit of mobility, and he was making some plays yesterday. And you can see he's different in the sense that he's got a level of an awareness. Like when he threw that Hail Mary, he kind of took this like little look back, I noticed. And it just shows that this guy's just got a different mind for football. But defensively, we were definitely a little too aggressive at times and earning some penalties. And Bills Mafia, we were definitely guilty of some defensive pass interference calls. Yes. But I'd rather see the guys trying to fucking fight their way and be gritty and find ways. And they were kind of getting beat a lot, the defensive backs at first. And the linebackers, like you said, Brees Hall was running. Brees Hall has had a lot of success against the Buffalo Bills in his career. At moments where the Jets don't have success, but he does, right? So Garrett Wilson got it going last night. But overall, I think we settled in and our defensive backs started making more and more plays. We saw Rasul Douglas with a couple key tackles. At one point, he had a key tackle on Brees Hall that like could have went for a lot more yards, but he stepped in. And you got to love that, right? Taron Johnson makes the interception there at the end. That's great to see in his first week back. And I liked, okay, here's the low, though, defensively. How the fuck do you allow a Hail Mary right there? Obviously, that's what they're doing. I'm going to put part of it on coaching, but I'm also going to say, you guys know, just bat the fucking ball down. You don't need an interception there. Statistically,
you got 4 or 5 seconds. They got 4 to 5 seconds to track the ball as he lets it go. Like, how do we not have enough time to jump up and get to that? And at
how's
least
there not a guy in front of him?
face?
How's there not a guy right in front of him, too? You know what I'm saying?
Ugh,
and so I'll start it off with this. I love you, Coach McDermott. I'm a guy that's still advocating for you. I'm a little suspect of you at times, sure, because I think that you got to take a look at coaching. Because when we have a talented team, we have a quarterback that's a franchise quarterback that I'm sure probably 27 to 30 other teams would probably take in the NFL. Okay, just saying. But you're playing prevent defense. Yeah, okay. You want to have the guys back, but it didn't prevent shit. It didn't. Rushing 2 guys, and I understand Greg Rousseau was held a bunch last night and it wasn't called. That was ugly. And then, of course, AJ Epinesa with a perfect quarterback sack. And I guess unless you literally are, hey, Aaron, I'm gonna tackle you for quarterback sack. Is that okay with you? And if he says yes, then you can do it. But if he says no, then apparently you can't do it. So I thought that was stupid. For once, me and Troy Aikman agreed on something. He said, I don't like that call one bit. I mean, it was a dumb call. Shitty call. It was. But it went both ways. It did. And I'm going to say that the refs were weird.
How many penalties were there throughout the whole
22
game?
22 accepted. But think about how many negated each other because both teams had a penalty.
Right. It's over 50 freaking penalties. It's ridiculous.
Let me ask you this, Modown. I don't want to get into conspiracy type theories, but is this because of sports betting? Is where we're seeing a little bit of the officiating kind of coming into play here because of things like sports betting? I mean, this kind of stuff's been going on for a lot of years, obviously, but when you have replay assistants and then it's like,
that's what I don't like. I mean, every now and again, we have a shitty referee crew where they just make tons of bad calls. They miss tons of bad calls. But that referee assistant thing is really, I don't know if I trust that, man. That's somebody going, wait. Like, we don't even know who this person is. It's just someone out there. Like, come on, man. That I think is ridiculous.
I also think, okay, I look at the way that officials officiate the game, how he would come out there and when there was a penalty by both teams, he wouldn't say there are penalties by both teams on the play. He would say there are 2 penalties on the play, meaning usually it's going to be on one team. So that right there, he's not communicating that properly to us fans. Then number 2, You got everybody. You got two referees in the end zone calls disagreeing with each other consistently. Garrett Wilson's first touchdown pass is one guy's waving it off, but replay assistance comes in and corrects it. It was obviously a touchdown. And then the Allen Lazard one. One guy's saying it's incomplete. One guy's saying touchdown. It's like, okay, right there. There's obviously some incompetence going on. I'm not a guy blaming referees for game loss. I mean, sure.
I just think it was a bad group of refs, man.
By far. I mean, 22 accepted penalties. Like, we literally had 200 yards of fucking penalty offense. It's just like, dude. And again, like, there's probably could have been 5 more total, or 5 or 6 more penalties to add into that. That's just ridiculous. I've never seen that in my entire life. It was a weird game. I think as soon as the Hail Mary shit happened, God said, yo, you guys are going to use a play that takes some Lord name shit in vain. You know what I mean? Yeah, I got to curse this game. So if you guys are just now tuning in, Sauce got here with Mo Down right here in the Sit Down and Sports Entertainment Podcast, right here on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and available via audio podcast, wherever you get your podcast. Hit us with a like and a share. Join us here in the comment section. We are just getting into our breakdown of last night's action against the Jersey Jets. And so I guess we shouldn't call them the Jets right now. We should call them the prop planes or the paper planes, because they definitely weren't Jets last night. So Mo Down, I think defensively, though, I'm going to give you one more thing to really take a look at and enjoy. It's got to be a guy that's got to step up on the defensive line. I saw it out of the rookie Carter. I saw it out of AJ Epinesa, and I saw it out of Greg Rousseau, even as he was held the entire fucking game. I also see Terrell Bernard playing great football still. That's great to see.
Amazing.
Thank God for him. Imagine if Matt Milano was out there, but how about Taylor Rapp? That dude comes off of a concussion. He's got the Guardian cap on his helmet, looking like a fucking like he's wearing the big hat shit. You know what I mean?
The kazoo from the Flintstones.
Yeah, dude, he's fucking running his head in this shit. But dude, he legit was laying down clean hits. And I know people said he's a dirty player.
Shoulder, actually tackling people and not just flying around like a torpedo.
And you could see he would lay that pain, but he would also get that probably hurt him a little bit. You know what I mean? But he goes out there. He
definitely looked like he hurt himself a few times.
Let me ask you this. Obviously, we were blessed. We had 2 all-pro caliber safeties since 2017 in Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde. Is Taylor Rapp truly the Bills' safety for the future?
I'm not 100% just yet. I'm not. Neither with Hamlin either. Hamlin missed a lot of plays where he's coming in over pursuing. Had a decent game. I'm not saying he's washed or he's a wash up, but I'm not sure. I think I'd like to make a move in that defensive end area, that defensive back area, not defensive ends, but the back end.
We still have rookie Cole Bishop, who I think I just lost Mo Down. I think he's going to come back in here in a minute, guys, though. But let me say this again. When it comes to Damar Hamlin and Taylor Rapp, I honestly, yep, he's back. Okay.
Here we are.
Taylor Rapp and Damar Hamlin remind me a little bit of Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde. Jordan Poyer was kind of a guy that delivered the pain. Micah Hyde was a guy that was a ball hawk and could track down, pass. He was just really great in the passing game. I felt like Jordan Poyer was too, sure, but it was like a little bit of mix and match on the safeties. And I see a little bit of that out of Damar Hamlin when he's playing consistently. And yeah, he over pursues at times. This is also a guy that's probably a little still sometimes in his head, a little a little nervous at times, and rightfully so. By the way, props to Aaron Rodgers on a classy move for sending a jersey autograph to Damar Hamlin, saying he was an inspiration to him and a lot of others, and called him brother. That's cool to see.
That's nice.
That's probably the only thing I'll ever say nice about Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, he's still a douchebag. Did you hear his post-game conference, by the way?
I did not.
Do you think that he took 1 ounce of blame?
I heard about his post-game. I didn't hear it, but no,
let me tell you this.
Surprised me. He's a piece
when
of
you
shit.
see Josh Allen in a press conference, Mo Down, he would be the first guy to take the blame and say, this loss is on me. Even though it's not always on one player. I'm not that's not the case. But Aaron Rodgers made some all right, yeah, his receivers dropped a lot of balls, but he got sacked. I mean, shit, maybe he could have thrown it away. He also threw an interception. I mean, hey, okay. That's all I'm saying. And he just didn't take any blame. And that's not what I want to see out of a guy who literally I'm pretty sure he's the guy that got the head coach fired, Robert Saleh.
Right.
And then they get the offensive play caller changed. And then they go and trade for a guy today, obviously, to play alongside of him that he had a lot of success with in Green Bay, which we'll talk about still to come in the show. But overall, defensively, man, I'm going to give you back to the Taylor Rapp thing. The one really unsung hero play of the game, dude, was when Breece Hall breaks it open and he looks like he's going to go score a touchdown. At that moment, I'm saying, oh, he's gone. I don't do that. I don't do that, but I was pissed off last night. But then it's like there's Taylor Rapp and he makes the tackle, and it's like, okay, well, maybe they hold him to 3. You guys realize how big of a difference that is? He held them from 7 points potentially to 3. Okay, that's huge. And
Huge.
Taylor Rapp
Monster
made those kinds of plays all night, and that's what you want to see. It's not always about getting the guy for a 5-yard loss. Sometimes it's about stopping the guy when nobody else will. And I like that when I saw that out of Taylor Rapp. That's definitely learning more and growing more as a player and stepping into the role as a starting safety for this Bills
for
team.
sure.
And that's going to get him to the type of shit that's going to make him a leader and more of a core guy on that defense, which is loaded up with guys, right? So, guys, let us know in the comments what you thought of Taylor Rapp's play last night, and as well as the rest of the guys on defense, because some people were saying DeMar Hamlin's the worst safety in the league. They got to cut. Guys, come on, man. He's out there doing as best as he can, and it's a tough task to ask for. I mean, it's a tall task. I can't fucking say it. It's not easy to ask a guy to come out there and do exactly what we're expecting him to do, filling in for Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, those guys being gone.
Big shoes to
And
fill.
very big shoes to fill. Thank you, Modown. It was a long Tuesday. Let me put it
I'm with
that
you,
way.
brother.
But hey, we're still having a good time here, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, have your drinks, have your smokes, and it's myself and Modown right here in the sit down. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, is the live premiere on Facebook and YouTube of the Bills Samurai exclusive interview. The Bills super fan from Tokyo, Japan, that has actually started a Bills backers bar in Tokyo. Man, this dude was awesome. He is cool. He's cool as fuck. You guys will love the video, and you guys get a chance to know him a little bit more. Don't forget, we're live normally on Friday nights, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, Facebook and YouTube. And for the Bills pregame show, whenever the Bills game day is, we're usually live a couple hours before that. That's the Bills tailgate show, and of course, right here in the post-game reaction, myself, Modown. Let's talk about the offense next for the Buffalo Bills against the Jersey Jets last night. Offensively, I'm gonna just right out the jump say I'm glad I saw Dalton Kincaid started off with a nice catch, and then he knocked a guy over, and that was more yardage. But man, the running backs established exactly what the Bills were going to be able to do right away. Ty Johnson with a nice gain there. We saw in the sauce up highlights, and then of course Ray Davis, who was really probably the star of the game. Even though he didn't have a touchdown, he almost had a touchdown, and that led to Josh Allen getting an easy run in to the end zone for a touchdown. So that's the kind of stuff I like to see. Other than Ray Davis and Josh Allen, who would you like to say had some solid performances or kind of surprised you or impressed you last night offensively for the Buffalo Bills?
Oh, geez. Honestly, I'm not quite sure because there wasn't anything other than that.
Well, no, I'll put it this way.
I don't know, man.
Matt Collins caught a touchdown. And he
Sure.
wasn't, and he also drew a lot of pass interference calls. Just saying,
Yeah,
that dude he probably had like 80 yards in pass interference calls. Okay, I'm not
Sure.
saying that these guys but they stepped up and they did their job. There were some drop passes, yes. How about Dawson Knox? I said it in the pregame show on Saturday. I'm sorry, on Sunday, that Dawson Knox was over-reliable, and maybe they needed to go to him a little bit. And that was the moment where Josh Allen and him connected for a touchdown. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Curtis Samuel got it going a little bit. He had a deep catch. I like that. You know what I mean? Everybody's been critical of those guys, especially. We didn't see a ton of Khalil Shakir, obviously. We didn't see a ton of Dalton Kincaid. And Josh Allen with that run on third down to end the game was really great too. I love that. And I think that that's a testament to Joe Brady's ability as the offensive play caller for the Bills. I mean, how he drew it up. Everybody's expecting, okay, they're going to more likely run, but there's a chance that Josh is going to pass of the play action here in the shotgun. But then it's like there's that third option, which is probably more possible that he's going to run for it. But nobody was prepared for that third option. And then it's exactly what the Bills did. And they executed, and that's what was able to help them put the knee down in victory formation and get that victory over the Jets. Jets are a tough defense. They got some tough corners. We got some calls that were our way. In fact, one of those pass interference calls with Matt Collins wasn't a catchable ball. I'll just be the first to say it. But I'll take it. You take whatever you can. You know what I mean? So we still have coming in the show. We have the weakest link segment coming. We also have ahead to we're going to talk about our gamebook MVPs of the game. I think actually we can go ahead and do the gamebook MVPs of the game right now. Modown, I'm going to say defensively for me it's Taylor Rapp, and offensively it is going to be Ray Davis. And You could say Josh Allen, you know what I mean? But Ray Davis was the guy he was the workhorse. He got it done. Who do you got for offensive and defensive game book MVPs of the game?
Defense, I'm going to throw Epinesa out there. I'm pretty happy to see that he got a couple of sacks there.
He was an animal last night.
Yeah, so that was real nice to see that out of him. On offense, I would probably just have to go with between Allen and Davis. Again, Josh had to, pull out some of his tricks, and Davis was on the receiving end of those tricks. So it kind of worked together, the two of them. But, Josh had to distribute. He didn't have to go too crazy, but he still had to pull a couple of tricks out of the bag.
And he definitely had to still not turn the football over. That's something that's great to see, that we didn't have turnovers. I like that. But the penalties, shooting ourselves in the foot, that's the kind of stuff that I hate seeing, because when you have drives that are going to start and then all of a sudden, instead of 1st and 10, it is 1st and 20, or it's 1st and 25 because you have an offensive pass interference call, right? I just don't want to see that kind of stuff going forward. We played clean football for the first 3 weeks, penalty wise, turnover wise, and then we kind of had some penalties and stuff like that. We weren't really turning the ball over still in those 2 losses, but I'm just saying, if you cannot shoot yourselves in the foot and keep yourselves in the game and give Josh Allen a fair chance to go out there and get it done, they're going to get it done. I mean, they did this without James Cook, who has probably been the primary offensive guy outside of Josh Allen this year. People were saying, oh, that's going to be a tough loss. No, obviously you want James Cook out there. James Cook is a great player, and he's a big part of this offense. But Ray Davis and Ty Johnson stepped in, and that's the kind of shit that I like to see. So that's our game book MVPs of the game, guys. Join us here in the comments. Still, it's myself, Modown, right here in the sit down. But we're going to go into our next segment here of the weakest link, and I'm going to tell you guys who was the reason the Jets lost, or who was the worst player out there on the field. So for me, it's Greg Zuerlein. You missed that first field goal, and at that moment, I go, "Uh-oh, that's gonna mess with him." And I hate to say it, because obviously, I think we're seeing from Tyler Bass that maybe that missed field goal in Kansas City is still kind of not setting in with him correctly. But I mean, come on, man, give yourself a break. You're human. Hey, that kind of shit happened to Mike Vanderjagt, who was a most accurate kicker in NFL history in like 2005, and he missed the game-winning field goal to send the Colts to the Super Bowl, I think it was. And like, that's the kind of shit that'll fuck with a player. You know what I mean? It just, you get up there and you start doubting yourself. Then you start doubting, is the offensive line going to hold up? So Greg Zuerlein misses that first one off the uprights. Greg Zuerlein misses another one off the uprights. That right there is what continued to give us a chance to win this football game. And then people say you got lucky. Yes, you have to get lucky. The Jets got a lot of lucky things too, like A.J. Epinesa getting a perfectly good quarterback sack and it not being counted because it's roughing the passer. Bullshit. But I think overall, man, I'm happy from what I saw offensively, defensively from the Bills. The Jets are still gonna next time we play them, it's still gonna be a tough game. They're gonna still make some noise. I think the change in coaching might help them, but their offense looked probably the best it's looked since Aaron Rodgers he wasn't there for more than 3 seconds last year, but I think that was the best they've looked so far this season, and that's something that and that's divisional games, right? But
it's huge.
I love everything that I saw, and I think overall, it's something to build on. It's not a great win. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be like pretty. Like I said, it just needs to be a win. So let's talk a little bit about this, Modown. This is me going off on some of the negative things out there. I got to say, man, I am seeing so much more negativity from Bills Mafia. And this is coming at you, Bills Mafia, because I'm just being honest. I love you. I'm Bills Mafia to the day I die. But y'all are getting a little too negative at times. Calling for the fucking coach to be fired after the Jets score like 1 touchdown. Calling for fucking Damar Hamlin to get just relax. It's a 60-minute game. And you saw, it looked like the Jets were going to pull away. It looked like the Bills were going to pull away. But that's football. Have some fucking faith in your team and enjoy the process, enjoy the ride, because it's not always going to be this great. Maybe it'll always be this great, but it's not guaranteed to be that way, right? Not every team's like the Green Bay Packers where you have 3 fucking straight franchise quarterbacks for your team. So
we can't even think of what life will be like without Josh. We can't even fathom that thought right now.
And I said this to Emily last night, my girlfriend. I said, Josh Allen, whether we ever win a Super Bowl with this guy, he's meant to be the quarterback for the Bills. And I love it. I love just watching this kid go out there and put his heart on the line and put everything on the line and be so invested in this city and this fan base. I mean, we are blessed, Bills Mafia. That guy's meant for us.
For sure.
So overall, Modown, I think, hey, Bills Mafia needs to stay positive. I stayed positive even when I was like starting to get negative. And I'm like, dude, come on, man. You got to be better than that. Stop being like that. It's a long game. There's a lot of plays. This guy can miss the field goal and boop, doink. You know what I'm saying? It just
that was probably
like
the only time I was a little nervous was at that point where they had the chance to what was it? That would have tied it, right? Or put them ahead of us. Yeah, they would have put them up 23-20, right?
Yeah.
If he didn't miss that second one, that was. I mean, other than that, I didn't get into panic mode last night. I thought, we held our own. It was a great back and forth game, but ultimately, I think we were definitely the better team.
Yep. I think we're always the best team on the field. I think we're the only team that can beat us is ourselves, and I will always believe that. And you saw we were starting to beat ourselves with the penalties. And listen, these players on the Bills do not like the Jets, and I'm starting to now wonder, Modown. Is the rivalry with the Jets a little bit more bigger than we thought it was? And I know obviously with Miami, it's nasty. The Patriots right now, it's a little bit different because of the team that exists for the Patriots. It's not Tom Brady. It's not Matt Judon. It's not Mac Jones, them kind of guys, right?
Yeah.
Not Bill Belichick. And they're not that good. But is the Jets rivalry with the Bills, is that for real? Is this something that is maybe the biggest rivalry between the AFC East right now?
I would say it feels that way, at least scrappy wise. But again, how much you would hope that if they had a younger quarterback that was going to help that, at least down south, if Tua continues to play and doesn't lose his mind and turn into a marble, we'll see. But I would think that, because Rodgers might not be around, dude, this could potentially even be his last year, dude. If they plummet and they just tank at this point, is he really going to want to stick around and try to come back at 41, 42 almost?
He don't even love football that much. All right. He doesn't love, okay, I hate the guy, Tom Brady, but that guy lives for football. In fact, his minority stake in the Raiders was just approved by owners today. I mean, he's commentating football. This is a guy that he lives for football so much that he fucking threw it.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Rodgers, he's out there, I think he wanted to go to the Jets because the spotlight, and he could get the franchise to do whatever the fuck that he wanted them to do.
Yep.
And that's how I feel about it. I also don't think that the Jets right now the Bills players probably hate the Jets more than they hate other players on other teams. But I think that right now, with the way that we've played against Miami in recent years, even though we are winning most of those games, that's right now the biggest one to me for the AFC East.
Sure.
But overall, man, the Jets, they're not liked by these Bills players. Deion Dawkins was on a podcast, I think, last year, and he said that they're the type of football players that play football to look cool, not that they love football, right? But there was some big trades today in the AFC East.
Oh,
and that's something I think we got to talk about here, because at first I saw the first guy that was traded to the Jets, and I immediately kind of felt like, damn, like there it goes. I mean, I didn't want this guy, right?
Yeah, we've seen it coming though.
I didn't want this guy. But like you said, we saw it coming. Aaron Rodgers, he can just ask Santa for a gift and Santa will give him what he wants, right?
That's it.
And
right.
Let's be honest,
but
the Jets traded today a third-round pick to the Raiders, but they're going to take on most of, I'm pretty sure, his salary. Yep. Devontae Adams was traded from the Las Vegas Raiders today to the Jersey Jets to reunite with his former quarterback in Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers, a guy that he has spoken out. They have a good friendship, them two, and they obviously had some really great years together, where Devontae Adams was probably the number one receiver in football. This is before Justin Jefferson, guys like that. But Devontae Adams is a little bit older now. I think he's 32.
Yep.
And he is going to definitely come in and make a difference. I don't know if he's going to make the difference that they need when you literally have Garrett Wilson, who is a number one receiver on offense.
I love that kid. He's awesome.
I do too. I'm an Ohio State fan, so I have respect for Garrett Wilson. Even when he scored, it's like, all right, man, that was a fucking great catch. He plays, he balls out.
He's good.
But man, you're changing offensive play callers, you're changing head coaches. They're going to go get Devontae Adams. Is that going to fix all of the holes that exist? Because the Jets don't look like a unified team. They don't look like a team of brothers. Do you get that impression?
Definitely, I agree.
I mean, so for me, like I see the Bills, they go out there, they're going to war together. They're brothers. Even when they win and they lose, doesn't matter. They win and lose together. That's how I feel about the Bills, and it's a different vibe. I mean, Josh is the kind of guy that gives the credit to the other guys. Aaron Rodgers will just say that, we did things right. Mike, okay, who did things right? And then just like last night saying, oh, we didn't execute the details. Like, okay, does that mean you didn't execute the details? I just don't like that kind of shit. But Davante Adams was traded from the Raiders, who are obviously not very successful this season, for just a 3rd-round pick. And then immediately Bills Mafia got pissed. Like, oh, that's all it took. Here's the thing. If the Bills were going to go get Davante Adams, they were going to have to get the Raiders to eat most of his salary. And that's not really an intriguing offer unless you're going to offer more picks. Okay, so the Bills wouldn't be able to get him for a 3rd-round pick. I don't know if they would be able to get him for the 2nd-round pick either, like they originally said that they were asking for in return for Davante Adams. But yes, the Davante Adams is now a New Jersey Jet. Who knows how long that will be for, because the salary over there is going to get complicated. Aaron Rodgers' contract and his cap hit's ridiculous. Okay. But not only does that happen in the AFC East today, the Bills have been linked to this guy for some time, Modown. They have been linked to this guy for, I think, maybe a couple seasons, really. He had restructured his contract in the offseason, and that made this more possible for the Buffalo Bills. And I honestly think that this is the kind of caliber player and a kind of teammate that I think is going to come in and vibe more with this team than Davante Adams would have. The Bills traded a 3rd-round pick and I think a 6th-round pick, or it might have been a 7th-round pick, in exchange from the Browns for wide receiver, 5-time Pro Bowler Amari Cooper, who is 30 years old, 6'1", 203 pounds, and can get separation just as well as anybody else. He originally started his career for the Raiders, ironically, with Davante Adams.
And we got a 3rd-round pick from them also.
I think we got a 6th-round pick. I don't think we
that's
got a 3rd.
what it was. Right.
We gave them a 3rd round.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
But Amari Cooper started his career with the Raiders, and Derek Carr, he had some major games over there. He was a baller over there, and he was looking like a top 5 receiver. Plays with the Cowboys, had some great years over there as well. Then he goes to the Browns. Obviously, if you know the NFL, you can't expect a guy on the Browns right now to fucking have a ton of notoriety as a receiver unless you have Joe Flacco over there, because he played well with Joe Flacco. And Deshaun Watson, he ain't that good right now. Let's be honest. The Cleveland offense is very dysfunctional. People say, oh, I see this guy. He's dropped a lot of passes, Modown. Okay, well, let's put him with Josh Allen versus Deshaun Watson. Let's put him on a team that's contending for an AFC title versus the Browns, which don't look like they're going to do that this year. They looked like it last year possibly, but no.
Brown.
So now it's a fresh scenery. It's a fresh start, and it's a nice situation. You're going to come in with a team that's got some established players already, and I think Amari Cooper is going to come in here and like what he is going to see, and I think Bills Mafia is going to embrace him, because we're going to have to learn.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Did you see his video? They showed a video of him. Someone was sitting there with him while he got the phone call that he was traded to the Bills.
I did not see this.
Oh, if you get a chance. I don't know where it was, but my buddy was showing me it, dude. He absolutely loses his mind, dude. Freaking out, super beyond excited. Takes off running through his yard, screaming and yelling, dude, how excited. Listen, I'm free as a bird now. Everything.
I could just see them like running from Cleveland to here, because like you're leaving Cleveland. And I got a lot of friends that are Browns fans. I don't hate the Browns. I don't even dislike them. I just like think like, dude, your guys' franchise, man. Yeah. Holy hell.
They're just there.
They're just, not even. Not even.
We didn't need to bring them back. It was good enough to get rid of them.
They're not even there. Their team name is Brown. I mean, that's not even a fucking team. It's a color. You know what I'm saying? It's a shit color.
It's terrible.
But no, Amari Cooper coming to the Bills is gonna. All right, people are wondering, is he gonna play this week? I don't know how that works. He's healthy right now, so we'll see.
I would assume if he's.
I would assume he's gonna at least be in there and at least be a little bit of a decoy, if anything. But maybe he comes in. Who knows? Baker Mayfield came in as a starting quarterback for the Rams after his whole experience with Carolina Panthers.
Won the game on 2 days. Right. It's not. He's not a rookie. It's riding a bike, man. Here's a couple of our plays. Here's some easy shit. Do this. Do this. I mean, a lot of the same play calls and everything. You know what I mean? We just do it a little different here or there. It's not like the dude's brand new. He should be able to slide right in, and I think it's.
I think so too, Modown. I really do, and I mean, he's got solid size at 6'1", 203. That's a guy that can definitely muscle. And if you watch his highlights, Bills Mafia, not only is his footwork impeccable, but he can use his arm strength and his entire strength to really get some separation. And I've seen him have some sure hands. Maybe not necessarily this year. I have a buddy that's a big time Browns fan. He said, he's dropped a lot of passes this year, but again, look at how the Browns are playing overall, and then talk to me about how his hands are, right? So I got to check out that video for sure. Amari Cooper has been traded to the Bucs. Brandon Beane makes a trade. And I have to say, I give a lot of respect to Brandon Beane. People are critical, the Von Miller contract and saying that he missed it on some guys. But at the end of the day, Josh Allen is a Buffalo Bill. Brandon Beane missed on that. I don't think so. And also, you got him he's very, very cheap. His cap hit's I think it's like under $1 million.
Yeah,
and
it's like 800.
Now I think it's the last year of his contract. So
It is.
that's the thing is it's essentially a rental. But are you telling me that this guy wouldn't possibly want to re-sign with the Bills if he finds his way into the offense and finds himself meshing well with Josh Allen?
My God.
You might not need to go to another team for the rest of your career if you're playing with Josh Allen. This might be the guy. This might be your guy the rest of your career. Okay.
Between him, Coleman, and Shakir, that's a nice 3-man fucking setup right there.
Very, very well balanced size-wise. You got
Holy moly.
Shakir, that slot type of size. You got Keon Coleman, big body, who almost had a sick fucking contested catch last night. But dude, he's a rookie, guys. Give him a break. He's a rookie. He's made some plays, but he's gonna get better.
We need to feed him more. He needs to get more balls thrown. He needs to. The only way he's going to get better, keep throwing him the ball. It's not that we have to or he's demanding it. That's how you get better. More turns, more tries, more
reps.
Throw the ball, man.
It's like anything.
Kincaid.
You practice it enough times, you're going to get better. But Keon Coleman, it's nice to see, though, that Josh Allen does trust in him so much that he's willing to do that. And I love that because I don't think Josh is the type of guy to be like, I'm still going to come to you, bro. Don't worry. And as long as you're not begging me for the ball and yelling at me for the ball, like some people in Houston, then he's going to find a way to get you in the offense. I mean, look at Dawson Knox. Doesn't have much offensive production at all this season, and he scores a touchdown last night. And they celebrated like they best friends. Love that kind of shit. So I think he's going to play this weekend, and I expect him to, come out with a couple catches at least. Who knows, man? Who knows exactly? This guy could really think that this is exactly what I needed. Now, he played for a team that's got a similar landscape to the Bills as far as the Cleveland Browns in the Northeast, small market. Cleveland and Buffalo are very, very similar cities in a sense. So maybe he'll be able to find a way to just mesh into what Buffalo is. And we're going to embrace him, Bills Mafia. When he is on the field, we see him get a catch. We got to do what they used to do in Dallas and Vegas. Coop. We got to say that. That's big time stuff right there.
Sure.
So also in the whole transaction with Amari Cooper as well, we did release MVS Marquez Valdez-Scantling. So that is a guy that's no longer being on the point. And that's okay.
Do it anyways.
But that's a guy that you saw a lot of him and Josh Allen hanging out a lot together. But I don't think he was really doing us much good. He wasn't giving us any secrets about Kansas City, as far as I know. So that's not going to. But overall, I like what I saw. Brandon Beane made the trade. He got the guy that they feel they needed. And everybody's talked about there's no receivers that can get separation really outside of Khalil Shakir. But that's okay because you have different skill sets at every position skill-wise on offense. I mean, your running backs can run downfield. They can catch the football. They can also, knock people over. You got Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid. They can do both things offensively for blocking, catching the football. Keon Coleman, contested catches. Matt Collins getting fucking pass interference calls. You got Khalil Shakir in the slot. Then you have Amari Cooper, who could just be your primary guy. But again, it's going to be a well-balanced offense still, and I have full confidence in that, Modown. So, overall, man, the Bills have
pretty exciting.
They've done some great things in the last couple of days. They come out with the win, and it's nice to see them get a win, and it's also nice to see Amari Cooper is now a Buffalo Bill, and the Bills have gotten the guy that everybody said they needed to go and find somebody to be. This is exactly the type of player that Stephon Diggs was for the Buffalo Bills. Same type of game, basically. You know what I mean? The separation, possession, able to go downfield. Whatever you need him to do, he's going to do. And if he can block too in the run game, fuck it, man. I'm loving it.
Great.
All right, so let's go into our final segment of Getting Saucy right here, presented by Duff's Famous Wings. Don't forget, guys, this has been presented by Louie's Bar in Attica, the home of one of the best weck and wing combinations in Western New York, the Zubaz Zone 716 Sports Card and Memorabilia Store in Depew, New York. Big Tree Inn right next to the stadium, and Duff's Famous Wings, the proud sponsor of the Getting Saucy segment right here on Facebook Live and YouTube Live in the Sit Down with Modown, Sauce God, and available via audio podcast, wherever you get your podcast from. Let's go ahead into Getting Saucy if I can find the video. Where is the damn video? I forget where I put it. There it is.
Right there.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Ice cold, nice, refreshing Labatt Blue on a fierce storm behind J817.
It's a cold front, is what that is.
I'm fired up this week, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get you fired up. Bills Mafia, you want to hear me getting saucy this week? It's simple. Mac Jones and the New England Patriots, and also, too, the Miami Dolphins, and anybody that's got anything bad to say. Bills by a billion, baby. Let's go. Let's go, Bills. We're 4-2. We're 2-0 in the division. And right now we are going to write our destiny. You know, I mean, we write the story. And that's what I love about these Bills teams. And Modown, this has been the situation for the Bills in the recent couple of seasons. You know, it's been some tight races in the AFC East with the Patriots a couple years ago when Mac Jones was a rookie, and with the Miami Dolphins. It just has been tight at times, but we win those crucial games down the stretch. And last night was a must-win. It was a crucial game, and you got the win. You got it in ugly fashion, but you got things going your way at times when you needed it to, and you got the guys to step up and play and make plays when they needed to. I just want to see some more consistency out of this team again. And I want to see the getting away from the conservative shit at times. I mean, you see the Jets brought pressure, and that sometimes could get Allen out of the rhythm. He'd have to throw the ball a little bit quicker than he wanted to, and maybe sometimes he would have to go to the guy he didn't necessarily want to throw it to, but because Josh Allen knows how to take what the defense has been giving him lately, and I like that too. So let's see a little bit more of efficiency. Let's play some cleaner football. We have ourselves the Tennessee Titans coming up this Sunday at 1 p.m. back to Sunday football, which is kind of nice, at home. So we had 3 road games there. We came away with 1 victory out of those 3 games, but we played 2 very good AFC teams in the Ravens and Texans. So it's now nice to be back in the win column at 4-2 and in position to continue this run as we look to get into the playoffs and finally bring home that Lombardi trophy that we so well deserve. Modown, man, how do you feel about the Titans? Let's talk about that real fast before we get out of here.
You know, it's a tough game for me because from my collector standpoint, I stocked up on Will Levis stuff, trading cards and shit like that, rookies and stuff, hoping that he was going to have a monster year, and he is not supporting me as much as I supported him. So offensive wise, I'm not too worried about them. Our defense, I think, will be able to handle them. They do have one of the top couple defenses in the league. So I think that will be a little difficult. We are at home. So that will definitely play in our favor. My biggest concern is going to be the offensive line. Let's give Josh a little bit more of a chance. They're doing good for the run side of things. Again, that could be a combo of them, maybe the running backs themselves. Again, Ray looked kind of squirrely, like a little weasel in there, man, and he was really doing well through the holes there. But we need to give Josh a little more time. I hate seeing him rolling out to the right every other play. They're like, oh, another play action. It's like, no, he's getting forced out of the pocket.
When he
has to go to the right and make a play. It's just called Josh play. It's not. That's all that is. So that's what I think about the upcoming game here.
And it's great to see that Josh Allen, since 2019, has the most combined passing touchdowns and rushing touchdowns in the NFL. This is for a guy that people said was going to be a bust. Jalen Ramsey said was a trash pick, right?
Something they called him. I don't know, something.
Overrated.
Overrated.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah. So whoever said that should probably just find a different sport or find a different career, because that is not the case. This guy just gets it done, man. He is playing some. Maybe the first 3 games was the MVP. Last couple games, not so much, but it doesn't matter. He did the job last night, and he led the way, and he was a guy that just made plays when he had to. All right, guys, it's going to
MVP caliber game, but it was definitely up there. He
still 3 total touchdowns.
Rodgers, who is an MVP, so.
I like that. Guys, this has been me and myself, Buffalo Sauce God, at Buffalo Sauce God for all social media platforms like X, Instagram, and also on YouTube. Make sure you are subscribed, liked, and following with your notifications turned on so you don't miss the live versions of this show or any of the live content or any content that I have regarding the world of sports, especially Buffalo sports, Bills, and Sabres. And in fact, guys, don't forget, there's an event on Facebook, but if you go on YouTube right now and you go to my channel, you can actually make sure the notification for the premiere tomorrow, the live premiere at 7 p.m. Eastern time on both Facebook and YouTube, for the exclusive interview with Keita Nakagawa, Bills superfan from Tokyo, Japan, known as the Bills Samurai, and everything about his fandom, his experience coming to Buffalo, New York for his first ever career NFL game. I am excited for you guys to see it. I think you guys will love the video, and you're going to get a chance to get to know Keita a little bit more, which was great for me to do. I was excited, and I'm honored that I was able to have him on. So tune
Can't
in
wait.
tomorrow night, guys, at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And don't forget to tune in with us this Friday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time right here as well. And if you're unable to catch the live versions of this show, don't forget it's available via audio podcast, wherever you may get your podcast from. This has been presented by BuffaloSauceGod.com, home of sit-down merch, home of Sauce God merch, and home of all things sports and entertainment. Also presented by Duff's Famous Wings, where medium is hot and don't have to ask for them extra crispy at the original on Sheridan Drive, and Big Tree Inn in Orchard Park, where they have wing night on Thursday nights, and the Louie's Bar in Attica, home of the better work and wing combinations in Western New York. And don't forget the Zubaz 716 Sports Card and Memorabilia store, run by our guy Mo down there, who's got some great memorabilia, great sports cards, sealed stuff as well. But dude, just talk about a place to get some deals. Talk about a place to get the things that you guys want. Talk about a place to be in Bills and Buffalo heaven at the Zubaz 716 Sports Card Memorabilia store. Tell Mo down Sauce God sent you. He'll probably be like, yeah, I know. So, guys, we appreciate you very much for everybody's likes and shares, your comments. And Bills are now 4-2, 2-0 in the division. And we're back on track, ladies and gentlemen, with the Tennessee Titans coming up at home at 1 p.m. this Sunday. We'll see you next time, guys. God bless everybody. Stand tall, bolster up. And as always, go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.